Hey everybody, welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signor. This is a tough one. Look, I understand there needs to be some big changes to create racial equality, casting in Hollywood, etc. I do believe in that. At the same time, this is stupid. This one's stupid to me, and I'm sorry. Educate me in the comments if you want to try and change my mind on this, but I got an issue with this one because it opens up more questions to me than anything else. You got to go to the story where Mike Henry, who has voiced Cleveland on the Family Guy series for 20 years, not to mention the Cleveland Show, has just announced it's been honored to play Cleveland on Family Guy for 20 years. I love this character, but persons of color should play characters of color. Therefore, I will be stepping down from the role. This was on the heels of Jenny Slate stepping down from the show Big Mouth, where she played a mixed race character, and then Kristen Bell played another person of color on a cartoon she was doing, and they both are going to be replaced. Their characters are going to be voiced by people of color. And now, this immediately following the news of Cleveland, The Simpsons is now committed to recast all of their characters of color to be voiced by characters of people of color. And so this is, Apu has been one that they've been talking about forever. Apu is arguably a stereotype to a lot of people. I think he's more than a stereotype. That one actually frustrates me as a Simpsons fan. Apu is probably, he is probably the best, most positive role model on that show. He's a wonderful character. And so I don't see him as that. At the same time, I can't speak for, people elsewhere. So, but that one I could sort of understand a bit more, as frustrating as it was. I was more annoyed that they were going to just cancel the character. It's like, all right, if you're going to have someone else voice it, all right, but that character is too important in that series, and I don't believe is a stereotype. You got to actually watch the show to learn more about the character of Apu, because he's a full-fledged character and a wonderful character, like the nicest person in Springfield, most likely, and a vegan, and so many amazing things about him. But now this is going to turn into all characters. That means Dr. Hibbert, who's voiced by Harry Shearer. It means Hank Azaria, who also voices, I believe he's the one who does Carl and Lou. Then we got Bumblebee Man, also voiced by Azaria. He's going to lose a lot of characters. Azaria is now going to get paid a lot less. And Tress MacNeille, who's also voiced Apu's wife, Manjula. So there's a lot. That's going to change a lot of stuff over there. We'll see how that plays. Are they just... Here's just so weird. These white actors have created these characters, and then they're just gonna pay a Spanish actor to do "Ay, Dios míos, Bumblebee Man," or are they just gonna now cut Bumblebee Man? Are they gonna cut Dr. Hibbert, like Carl and Lou? They're just gone now, or are you gonna have some actor come in and just mimic the white guy's voice of the black guy? Do you know what I mean? Look, I understand if we want to make change. I get that. I understand, Big Mouth and these newer shows, and they want to actually cast, actors of color for characters of color. Great. More power to them. Absolutely. But a character like Cleveland, and then just hire a black actor to just mimic Mike Henry's voice? Okay, that seems a little silly to me. That seems silly. This is an established character that we've dealt with and been fine with for 20 years. However much longer Family Guy's going to go, however much longer Simpsons is going to go. I understand the shift right now. And again, let me correct that. I understand the shift right now. Everyone's just changing everything because they're being forced to. They're being forced to change. And I don't like pandering. I like when people do it for the right reasons. And I feel like at least Apu and Hank Azaria, while I didn't love it, at least he did it, before this. That said, he was pressured to do it then too. When people are just pressured to change, it's not the same as someone who's like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with this anymore. I want to actually change this. Now, granted, that's what this movement's about, is trying to educate people to say, look, we got to do better. We got to give more people, more opportunities. But in this instance, it's annoying because what does this actually mean? So let's take example of Mike Henry. So those of you who are disagreeing with me, just hear me out. Mike Henry is the voice of Cleveland. As his own Twitter bio shows, he's also the voice of Herbert, the perverted pedophile. Okay, does that mean can he still do that, or do we have to go to a prison to find a real voice? Oh, he does Consuela. Is he going to still do that one? Probably not a good voice for him to do. How about the greased up deaf guy? You think that's still a good one for him to do if we're going to really go down this path? I think Mike Henry needs to basically lose all of his roles now if this is the place we're going to go. And beyond that, let's get rid of Tina because Dan Mintz is a man voicing a woman. That's not okay anymore. Let's also get rid of Nancy Cartwright because she's playing a bunch of young white boys. Not cool. Not cool at all. Phil LaMarr. Phil LaMarr is the voice of so many characters, including Samurai Jack. Is that allowed anymore? Can Phil LaMarr voice Aquaman? Are actors of color allowed to voice white characters now? Or is that going to anger people too? So does that mean now Phil LaMarr, who actually is a really great voice, one of my favorite voice actors, he can no longer play characters outside of his race? Because I liked his Samurai Jack. What does this mean? Does that mean James Earl Jones can't do Darth Vader? Because Darth Vader's a white guy. It's Hayden Christensen. And James Earl Jones is voicing him. Beyond that, even beyond all that, okay, Cleveland, you're changing your voice. Is Seth MacFarlane going to stop writing for him? Seth MacFarlane's white. Are they going to bring in sole black writers to write for the black characters? And beyond that, are they going to go back and actually do the right thing? If we're going to change this, we're going to go back and do the right thing to re-record all of, Mike Henry's voices from all the previous 20 seasons to make sure that is adjusted moving forward and to give an actor all that opportunity to get paid to go re-record all those things. And what about all Mike Henry's profits? Profiting on playing a character, really doing blackface and animation is really what, if we're going to call it what it is, call it what it is. Is Mike Henry just going to keep the profits off Deaf Guy and Consuela and Cleveland, and now we're going to change but not going to address that? I'm sure he's made a lot of money off of that. Hank Azaria has made a lot of money off of playing Apu and Carl and all these characters. So what does that mean? Are we going to then actually change that too? Look, I honestly don't understand now. What are the rules? What are the rules now? Is it just black cartoon characters need to be voiced, or is it all? I guess it seems like it's all, which would be nice. Let's make sure it's all. But does that mean no person of color could ever voice a white character now? Or is it, no, that's cool, we're okay with that one? I don't personally care when someone voices me. Now, I understand the dilemma, and a lot of you who are mad at this, I don't think really want to see that dilemma of like, yeah, for years, white actors have just voiced everybody. That's just how it was. And usually white men would even do all the female characters. And then slowly female characters started voicing the kids and some adults. And so it's changed. But the other reality of the voice acting is it's always just been the voice actors who've been out there longest, and they got a lot of the gigs. And now the real reality of voice acting is so many of those amazing voice actors, that's their livelihood and their job, voicing so many different characters. They don't get work as much anymore because they just hire celebrities now. Celebrities just get all the work. And it's like starring these celebrities. So there's a lot of voiceover actors who aren't doing as well as they used to just for that reason alone. So now to push out some of these other voice actors like Mike Henry, who, his biggest role, that's gonna cost him a lot. Suddenly now Mike Henry, who created this character of Cleveland, and now we're just gonna put a black actor in to just copy everything Mike Henry did? Or are they going to do a completely drastic change? Or are they just going to cut the character altogether? It is complicated. This is a complicated issue that isn't as easy as just, let's just not have him voice it anymore. If you're going to change, then do the change, right? You got to do change. You got to get rid of James L. Jones. You got to get rid of Phil LaMarr doing any character that's not black. You got to get rid of Nancy Cartwright. Why isn't a man doing that, huh? Why is a man voicing Tina Belcher on Bob's Burgers, huh? Like, this is going to just never end. And this idea that actors can't act, that's a slippery slope we're going down. And I am more liberal than I think a lot of people in my audience wants to understand. Like, I am all for equal rights and equal opportunity. All across the board, I really am. But this one's dangerous. This one's weird. I understand it's with good intentions, but this one's going to go down and be even more complicated as it goes. It seems like we're doing it to follow Black Lives Matter right now, which is an important cause. There's a lot of stuff we need to do, and I agree. But changing established characters, to me, that might be too far. I don't know if this is really the goal. Because again, unless you're going to say Cleveland's offensive, he's not in the show anymore. And then what does that mean? Are we going out and removing him from the rest of the show? But then it's like, well, no, it just needs to be voiced by someone black. Okay, well then he's been voiced by someone white for 20 years. It's a lot of revenue. He's also been written by people who were white. How is that okay? Is that going to change too? Like, if you're going to now do the change, you got to do the change. Am I crazy? So I'm torn. This one seems stupid to me. This one seems stupid. There's so many things that we are doing right. This one, I understand why people are excited. I understand why, black community would be like, yes, fine, doing it. But, they're just going to give the guy who's already been doing their black voices on Family Guy is what they're doing to then just upgrade him to do other voices. It's not like they're going to bring in somebody else and give someone else a new opportunity. They're just basically shifting the pay scale to another one of their actors who are already in the house. How does that change? How does that actually change? All it's going to do now is ask all these other questions, and it's going to fuel people who I believe some people are going to be racist about this, and it's going to fuel them to have anger back of like, well, wait a second, Phil Lamar's voice in Aquaman, that's not cool with me. And then they're going to be labeled racist, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't. It's just going to open up a whole can of worms. Where it's like, well, who's making the rules now? What are the rules? How do we make sure we're following these rules? I don't know, man. This is getting interesting. It's getting very interesting. What do you guys think? Am I crazy? If somebody disagrees with me, please hit me up. I'd love to have this conversation. Again, maybe I'm being ignorant on something. I'm open to hearing things, but this is my initial takeaway of it all. So those of you tuned in, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other channel, Movie World. I'm doing some cool movie analysis. You can go check it out. My new video, my new channel. I'd love your support over there if you're just finding us. And obviously, subscribe here to Popcorn Planet for more conversations like this, breaking news, live streams, etc. That's what I got. You can also hit me up on social media and any signal. I'd love your thoughts on this. So if you got a different opinion, please hit me up. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon.